So when it comes to cheap GPSs, I have a few. This is my cheapest GPS. It's the Garmin Street Pilot 2720. I got this for like $40. It used to be the top of the line GPS back in the day, and it works fairly well. I think a lot of times you have to kind of silicone in various parts. It's weatherproof. This one's a touchscreen. The other GPS I use, 376C, it's I used to have a 276C that I bought new when it first came out, and that was a game changer. It was like one of the first color ones that came out at the time. Before then, they were all black and white, very difficult to see. This one is a very basic GPS. It's chunky, it's large, but it works really well, and I like how it works on a bike. You know, it's very easy to read. The problem is it uses these memory cards, so if I ride cross country, I'm gonna have to carry multiple memory cards or have a laptop and transfer maps to the memory cards. Having a GPS is very important. Whenever I see a rider that doesn't have one, I wonder, are they just so much better at navigating? It's one of those things that I wonder why they don't make it a paid service, because if GPS was only available to people who paid, and I'm like such a cheapskate, I would pay for that because it is such a valuable thing to have. But our motorcycle GPS is worth it, and I think so far I've used various tablets and various phones, and I never really liked them. And they make these like tough Android units that are supposed to be better, but you know, to me these units are much better. But this one, the Garmin Street Pilot 2720, and I believe they have like the 2730 and all of these other models, it comes with a base map of the United States, so you get all the roads in there. Of course, they don't update these old ones, but that's why you get really good deals on these. So if you go on eBay, you can get one of these very cheap, you know, under $100. But this GPS is a lot worse than the 376C I got, because if the light hits it, you can barely see anything. You know, I got less traction control lights on the dark side than I did in the TKC 90. Yes. Whoa, came up. There we go, traction control. Look at these kids. Look at that. That's cool. I guess if you have a tractor. Oh, here comes a bike. Oh, that's a crf250. Yeah, that's the bike I like. He's really like chillaxing. I really like that bike though. I am a big fan of the CRF. And actually I've been trying to get one of those. That one is way too expensive. I was just wanting the crf250L as a dirt bike. Yeah, that looks great, man. That's a nice bike, buddy. That is a nice bike. It's kind of amazing. You know, that guy doesn't even have a dark side tire. What kind of animal is he? Oh man, it's just kind of weird seeing like a bike with a tiny wheel. You know, back in the day, all of these street bikes had tiny diameter and, well, not diameter, it's just width. They were a lot thinner. And then all of a sudden, you know, we're up to like 190, 200 size tires. CRF. That's a good bike. That's a cool bike, man. That's the crf250L Rally Special Edition. But you know, the prices on those has gone up so much, so much that I think they're like $5,000 to $6,000, which is like insane to me. This bike costs $6,000. So, you know, when you kind of think about it, it's like, would you want a Super Tenere that's capable of going across country, you know, 100 times, or CRF250? I don't know, man. I kind of like the idea of the CRF250 personally. And you get 70 miles to the gallon. So that's a win-win. Oh, I love it. Look at him. Damn. I love that bike. You know, one of the things that happens with motorcycle riders, you know, I see that 250, I'm like, yeah, my life would be complete if I had that 250. And the reality is that it's kind of like a rich person. Oh, if you have $1 million, my life will be complete. But it never is, right? We're always like thinking, if we had this, our life would be complete. My goal for a while has been, I need to be happy with one bike. Like, I really like the idea of just riding one bike. You know, I've gotten so many bikes over the years because I ride a lot, but we do have this thing as riders, is that, especially in the United States, because bikes here are very inexpensive, and we go like, oh, we need to get the newest bike. That's going to make my life a lot better. But is it? There's something really cool about the type of rider that gets bikes and they hold on to that bike for the lifetime. Their lifetime. They'll just hold on to it. And we all know those people. And I don't know, like, I kind of like the idea of trying different bikes so I can understand different bikes. But the way I look at the Tenere, it's kind of like one of these bikes that it's almost perfect that I would be a fool to sell it. And it has nothing to do with the horsepower. Like, this bike doesn't make great horsepower. It's not a bike that has amazing fuel efficiency. It is just one of these bikes that's so solid that it's capable really to do a lot of things and do them well. Of course, it is a bike that's definitely more geared towards street riding, but that's kind of like who I am. I'm more of a street rider. It's not a dirt bike. Everybody on the Super Tenere forums like to think it's a dirt bike. It might be considered more of a dual sport, but that's like pushing it. I mean, you would have to be a extremely talented rider to ride this behemoth off-road and do it well. And if you're really interested in riding off-road, you don't get this. You get that CRF250. That's what you get. And that bike, if you don't know, the CRF250's are heavy. The XR650R that I had, that was lighter than that 250. Oh, by the way, the ABS pump seems to be fine. What was wrong was the rear brake cylinder, master cylinder I should say. I could have rebuilt it, but it was more expensive to rebuild than just buy a new brake master cylinder for the rear, so I just ended up buying one for $30 on eBay, installed it, and that's it. Now I'm riding it. But I was kind of pissed off that potentially it could have been the ABS pump. That's a $1,000 to $1,200 unit. That's kind of crazy when you think about that. There's a cop up ahead. I'm actually going to wait a little bit more. I wonder what they're doing. Tisk. he's coming back with that ticket. Time to end it, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.